What's up, junkies? Welcome in for another edition of Pigskin Junkies. Myself, Michael Larson, the big brother, Jared Larson, and Scott Panza here on our Sunday recap show. So Scott gets to just tag along for a little bit here because he doesn't love him some college football, but he watches him some college football occasionally. So we'll get his hot takes mixed in there. But Jared and I recapping the week. So of the 5 I gave out,
Did I give out 6?
I think you gave 6. I ended up adding the Colorado once Nebraska scored the first touchdown, and then moved up to 8.5. And then I hopped on the Buffs. Although I was a little scared with how much the public was playing Colorado, that I almost went to Nebraska because I usually like to just be the opposite of the public. But I ended up going, of the picks I gave 2 and 3, but of the actual picks that I ended up entering was 3 and 3. So I'm 7 and 3 on the year. Jared, how'd you do?
3 and 3. Micah's wins were my losses. Auburn got the best of the number, fortunately. I know if you bet that one right before the game, that was not a winner. But, FAU just awful.
I tried telling you. They can't stop a
They had
nosebleed.
like 500 yards of offense and scored 17 points.
Yeah, absolutely brutal.
Like, whatever.
So I'll
so that UCF is going to get Stanford without KJ Costello because they would have won.
I know. I was going to ask you about that, but we'll talk more about that the upcoming weeks here. So I had Boise State on Friday night. They ended up squeaking by Marshall 14-7. Kind of an ugly game on a Friday night. The line for that one was 12. I thought they were going to be a little bit better than what they were. But, hindsight 2020, I guess I could have looked at that as a letdown spot for them after a big win in Tallahassee. But it is what it is. Next, I had Army plus 22. Jared obviously talked about it. Army should have won that football game.
Should have won.
Should have won the football game.
Yeah.
But anyway, they lose on a sack fumble in overtime. Harbaugh is going to be run out of that town if he doesn't start. If there aren't some things,
they're not any good, dude. They can't score.
That's what I mean. Is if things don't start pointing in an okay direction, that it's the seat that I didn't think could ever get hot is going to start warming up.
Oh yeah.
Next, obviously, I told you guys I threw Colorado Buffs on there. UCF.
Keep your point, Vegas.
Yep. Vegas. Now you got to think about the Vegas Golden Knights. UCF, same colors. Minus 10.5, winning 48-14 against the fighting Lane Kiffins. Miami, outright loss, was going to push, and then UNC drives down the field for another game-winning drive. They get to 2, so then they end up winning 28-25. Brutal.
That was big from them.
It was. Miami is reeling already. I mean, the fans have already given up hope, and I think it's hysterical. It's like 2 games into the year, and it's like, we're done.
Should.
Yeah. And then the Island stayed undefeated, but I was shocked that you were right, Jared. You said Oregon State can score, and I just thought traveling out
they
there.
They should have won that game, too.
Yeah. They gave that was Colorado. I was going to say Colorado scored 24 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, keep your points, Vegas.
Insane.
Cash the ticket.
But the Island did stay undefeated. They won 31-28, but they did not cover the -7.
Yeah, they were down 28-7 late in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who I gave out on the show. I don't even remember. I was 3 and 3. I suppose I could pull it up, but I had nothing material to add. Unfortunately, I was 0 and 2 in the head-to-head against Micah, which means I will have to wear the dunce hat of shame for yet another week.
Yeah, the producer comes in from the top rope.
Michigan, 3 fumbles, and this is so funny because I was joking with a friend of mine. I'm like, I'm allergic to laying points. I finally decided to do it with Michigan, and they just cannot move the ball at all. Who else did I have? Colorado on the money. New Mexico State never outside the number. Auburn.
It got close, though.
Exactly what I expected. Auburn won by 18. They probably should have won. If our defense is really good, that's the takeaway from that game, because I actually think Tulane is a decent team. But FAU couldn't have been more wrong. I don't know. I can look it up, but a very Mets and Mets week. Call it down the middle. Ate some juice.
Well, this
fun.
this next week isn't going to be much more fun on the.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But I think so. Clemson covered, correct? No. A&M backdoored like.
A&M had a backdoor touchdown. Garbage.
And
they dominated that game. Clemson, A&M's not any good.
I told you if it.
I shouldn't say that. They're not like a top 10 team.
I was going to bet A&M, and then every one of those players kept opening their mouths, and I said, look, Dabo might not be the greatest X's and O's, but he knows how to get those guys from the second they touch Howard's Rock to bring the juice, the BYOG, bring their own guts. And then Matthew McConaughey was not, all right. LSU went in there and took care of business.
I think I've said it before on the show. Greatest brand ambassador in the world, because every time I see him, I want to drive Lincolns and drink Wild Turkey, and yes, all at the same time. He is the man. They, I tweeted it out last night. If Texas DBU give Joe Burrow the Heisman right now, because he was dropping absolute dimes, we were pretty bullish on him to start the season. I think LSU's defense played pretty poorly, and I expect them to clean that up. But that offense was spinning. It's
scary to see an LSU team that has offense like that, and with a quarterback who's winning them football games. So, as those of you who know and listened to this last podcast, I stupidly said we were recording on Wednesday, and we talked about this stuff with Antonio Brown. Everything looked like it shook out, was going to be okay in Oakland. Then,
nope.
And then, so the podcast comes out on Saturday, and I think it might have been 45 minutes after the podcast uploaded that it was announced that Antonio Brown was released from the Raiders. And then that he signed with the Patriots, I felt like was immediately following. And it was just like, I couldn't believe what I was reading.
I'm not sure how it's not tampering.
It has to be.
Oh, come on, guys.
I smell fish.
Defend it then. He was they would have wanted to have wanted to do a physical for sure. And he signed with the Patriots like 19 minutes after he got cut from the Raiders.
I cannot explain it. But I'm awfully excited to see how potent this offense is going to be with him living with Tom Brady, apparently, based on the NBC telecast tonight, said, he's going to be moving in with Tommy, and how many points they can put up, because they look pretty fresh tonight, just dunking on the Steelers all night. Mike Tomlin just did not bring the A game and loved the field goal at the 1 yard line down 20 points to keep it a 3-score game. So, Mike Tomlin, Coach of the Year pick, is not looking too sweet after week one.
I saw
30-3 officially right now, by the way, into the fourth.
I saw two great things. I saw one was nominate Tomlin for the Nobel Peace Prize with having Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. And then the second one was Tom Brady and Gronk tonight talking to each other, and it was Tom saying, "It's all right, buddy. Rest up. See you December 1st." Just stay at home, relax, take it easy, then come back for the playoffs, and we'll be fine.
Gronk's looking too thin, man. He's got to bulk up. So maybe he's just, he just needs to start hitting the gym a little bit more right now, if he's going to be ready for December 1.
It's true. I mean, that team was. The fact that he's on the Patriots, I saw another picture I thought was pretty funny. And it was just Belichick on his phone, and it said, "Call him a cracker." Like basically saying he was working Brown like a puppet, just manipulating this whole thing. But they did say, and Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Patriots wanted to get Brown. They wanted to trade for him. But
yeah, they offered a first-round pick, and the Steelers refused to trade him to New England.
Right, which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to make the Pats any better? So, I don't know. There's a report today that he hired social media consultants to see how he can get shipped out of the Raiders. And they nailed it with that video, because it was, whoever edited it, fantastic editing. I mean, good job.
Yeah.
He got what
No
he
one's
wanted.
ever going to say anything to him over the phone ever again.
No, that's illegal in the state of California. It's illegal in most states. There's a few it's not, but like, there's no way John Gruden knew that he was being recorded.
No effing way.
Yeah, but it's not in court. It's not like they're not looking for. This is the court of public opinion, not a court of law.
Well, I'm saying there is a case though. I did take a media law course. Like that you have to.
Of what? Libel?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, not being aware of, you can sue people for that. If they aren't aware that they're being recorded, you can't do that.
Assume for what money?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever bonus
Yeah.
money, whatever you paid them.
I've seen so much on Twitter and read so many articles at this point about it. Like literally a day later, I'm over it already.
I'm not saying
The
you
Raiders,
would.
the
just
Raiders
get him on
can't
the field.
afford a lawyer anyways. They have no money. They're
Yeah.
broke. They're paying John Gruden all the money unless he wants to forgive some of his salary, which I'm sure he's not going to.
Absolutely not. So, fellas,
Next on Pigskin Junkies, the Raiders join the AAF.
XFL. That's what's going to be next. The best team in the XFL is going to replace the worst team in the NFL. It's going to be like
That'd be
European soccer.
awesome.
I
That'd
think
be
that'd be
hilarious.
so
It'd be
great.
amazing.
I think
Probably.
honestly it would be awesome, but we just wouldn't
It'd
be able to.
stop teams from tanking like the Dolphins, who now all their players want to quit because they just got dusted so bad. I mean, I couldn't believe 59-10.
That one was over in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's
And
20.
it was the most popular bet in both Circa and Super Contest. So everyone was loving then some Ravens today. Those are the games that you just need to break your way if you're going to fade them.
I played Lamar in like 3 leagues. Horrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
brutal.
I liked what he said, though. I thought it was a good zinger when they were interviewing about the, 5 touchdown passes?
Yep.
And he goes, not bad for a running back.
A lot of people are taking victory laps on Twitter today because Lamar Jackson had a big game against the worst team in the NFL. Maybe let's calm it down. I don't know if he's winning the MVP just yet. Beating the
Homecoming
Dolphins.
for Lamar Jackson, by the way. Wasn't a lot of mention of that either.
Yep. Oh, well, they were
Yeah, he's
blowing
from Miami.
up. They were blowing up the whole Dalvin Cook, Devontae Freeman, Miami Central, Florida State deal today on that game. And then, how about, speaking of MVP, how about Pat Mahomes trying to get all cutesy and do a no-look pass and absolutely just launches it into the bleachers when Travis Kelce's wide open.
Yeah, it's a good thing that didn't matter at all because Foles is now broken collarbone.
I know. Oh.
I mean, just what a disaster of a day. And Gardner Minshew actually looked pretty good.
I thought he did. That was a local game here. Like I thought he
looked
played all right.
good. I mean, they're gonna have to go trade for Blake Bortles or something. But
If they brought the boat back, that'd be.
I mean, if you're the Jags, you're definitely like all in on this season. What do you do now with Foles out? Do you try to go sign a vet? What do you do?
Kaepernick.
Who?
Yeah,
Oh,
Starting. I mean, you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
yeah, I get
the
that.
tidal wave. The tidal wave is forming in Africa right now as we speak.
I think there's a better chance Jay Cutler gets signed than Colin Kaepernick in
Oh,
Jacksonville.
Jay Cutler.
I actually said Africa because that's actually where hurricanes form for the uninformed and uninitiated, and I can see where that's going to get misconstrued too already. But
Yeah, I was
Everybody
planning on
calm
editing
down.
that out, but
everybody take it easy, okay?
so Scott, we'll let you start with your picks before Jared starts becoming a meteorologist over here.
Disaster of a day, 2-2 so far. Spiked on the Bills, 17-16. Amazingly, they won despite 4 turnovers. And I heard a stat while watching the game that teams on the road that have 4 more turnovers versus 0 on the other side lose 99% of the time. Well, all you need is some, Adam Gase coaching to have that be just that 1% for the Bills win. So their defense looked great, huge for my Bills' future, over 6.5 wins. They just got to eliminate the turnovers. Spiked as well on the Colts plus 6.5.
I don't know if that was a spike. I'll give you a little credit there. Adam Vinatieri uncharacteristically missed several kicks.
I mean, I'm just saying spike that it hit. I'm not saying that it was a comfortable hit because it definitely was a sweat the whole way. Lost on the Lions -3. I mean, you're up 18 points. against a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, and you lose. Pretty frustrating, but TJ Hawkinson is definitely the truth. And then I had the Jags plus 3.5 against the Chiefs, and they just got dusted. And, Nick Foles, I mean, people were tormenting me today saying, why would you ever bet the Jags? I mean, I guess I'm just trying to be too smart. And then tomorrow, we're pending on the Saints -7. Apparently, I'm a square for taking the Saints, given their 1-9 straight up and against the spread first 2 weeks of the year, the past 5 seasons. But I'm going to stand by my pick. I actually feel pretty good about the Saints. I really think from what we saw this weekend and a lot of teams that didn't get a lot of run in preseason, except for the Rams, they really struggled early on. So I'm going to rock and roll with the Saints tomorrow.
All right. So I had, you want me to go over mine, Micah, I presume?
Yeah.
I think we said it on Twitter that nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills down and out for about 50 minutes and then just claw back in to win the game.
Gotta love it.
17-16. Oh, man.
It was 17 unanswered, right?
Dead yeah, 17 unanswered. And it was like 16-3 into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So a welcome surprise there. Jags, Scott hit the nail on the head. I mean, look, the starting quarterback for the team that we bet on went down in the first quarter. Now their defense played like shit. So that needs to be the primary takeaway. KC still scored 40. So, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the Jags were going to come out there and drop 50 and win the game. But anytime you see the starting quarterback, a guy who we had high hopes for at the beginning of the year, go out in the first quarter, you kind of just chalk that one up almost instantaneously as a loss. Bengals on the screws. I told you guys what I thought about that one. It was going to be close. No respect for the Bengals. Don't trust the Seahawks coaching staff to win a game by that margin, and I still don't. So if you're going to, lay that many points at home with the Seahawks, I'm probably going to be gobbling those up. Steelers are currently in the process of getting plowed by New England, so I'll mark that as an X. And then, like Scott said, I have the Saints tomorrow. Apparently, it's a contrarian pick. Whatever. These are the types of things where you have a thesis, you stick to it, you make the pick, and the tide goes against you, and that works out well sometimes. And that's how you win contests like this. So I'm not afraid of it. We'll tune in tomorrow night, and hopefully Laramie Tunsil has a tough time hearing his new quarterback in the Superdome.
I'll tell you, the South is just so open for the Texans right now. If Gardner Minshew is quarterback in the Jags, Jacoby Brissett for the Colts, and
Titans.
Titans.
All right.
They had to get themselves a game today.
Yeah.
Baker was wearing light blue and navy and red today. It felt like.
Oh man,
he was throwing it to him.
Now, do you think that was a good thing for the Browns to get cooked like that? Because I heard that take from a couple of people. I actually think it's the worst thing for them because now they go on the road to the Jets on Monday night next week, and week 2 must-win games.
I was going to say, start
those aren't good
it a little tighter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, getting smoked at home, Baker looked like dog do. There's really no other way of saying it.
Well, it's all fun and games when you have all these players that are, yes, all-stars or Pro Bowlers and first team this and have X amount of numbers here and are up for personal awards. But at the end of the day, it's still 11 people that got to play football together. And I think that always gets lost. And it's great when you see Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, and for some reason everyone thinks Baker Mayfield's the second coming of Jesus himself. I don't see it with him. I think he's a good quarterback, but I didn't understand where all the hype for him was coming. These guys got to gel. Yeah, Landry and Odell played together in college. Cool.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah, they're going to want the ball, each of them, individually. And you got to call plays, and you got to try and win a game. If you're just going to get everyone their touches, you're not going to win football games.
Yeah, they're not sipping 40s at walk-ons anymore in Baton Rouge, dude. Like, they want the ball.
Yeah.
I didn't hear Landry's name much at all today. I heard Higgins a lot more often than I was hearing Landry, unfortunately. So Just man, those Titans players, they can get up for games. I remember last year they cooked the Pats. They got super stoked for that game, and what happened the next week? They got laid an egg against the Colts. So who's coming to town next week? The Colts. So I imagine there's going to be serious market overreaction to the Titans and the Colts next week. So that could be a juicy line. I'm waiting to see where it comes out.
Speaking of the Colts, how did we feel about that performance?
I think their O-line played great. Their D-line played great. But their secondary got cooked by Philip Rivers. Brissett looked pretty good. T.Y. Hilton's a stud. Marlon Mack ran his heart out, but Funchess was banged up and Ebron banged up a little bit, it seemed. So I don't know. I need to watch a little bit more. I have to rewatch the game tomorrow and have a stronger opinion.
I'll ask this. So from those games today, I'll ask you, what was the most, what stood out to you guys the most, or was like the most shocking?
I can't believe that the Dolphins just got cooked that badly. I mean, I cannot believe week 1 you're getting torched by 49 points at home. Just so demoralizing for that team. And also what stood out to me is Melvin Gordon is costing himself a lot of money and looking really bad doing it because Austin Eckler looked pretty darn good today. And so I'm sure they're like, all right, Melvin, I'll see you later, man. Good luck.
Yeah. Peace, dude. For me, yeah. So I'll transition to the other running back that actually did get paid. The Cowboys looked really good. And I'm trying not to get too excited because it was the Giants. Pretty low expectations, but they were moving it up and down. Defense looked exceptional. I was quite impressed by the Cowboys today. Dak Prescott spinning it, and that was probably what was most shocking to me. And then to Scott's point, I think I would agree and echo. Dolphins getting just blistered. I mean, it was from the jump. It was never close. 28 goose. Couple minutes into the second quarter. I mean, that's just in the NFL. That's game over. So to get run like that in your opening game at home, I think is a tough tone to set for that organization.
Now players are just asking for their release or just trade them. So, I mean, it's just got to be – and it doesn't get any easier because next week, who's coming to town? The Pats, who are up 27 in the fourth quarter.
What's that line going to be? Oh, man. 16?
I thought it was going to be 17. It looked like it opened at 14.5. So I imagine it's going to get creep up steadily and banged the shit out of by the public.
Yeah.
So here's one. Dalvin Cook's going to have an unreal year. I'm just going to tell that again because I feel like I can't say it enough. I think Dalvin Cook is going to be – he's going to finally be healthy, and you're going to see him put up some numbers. Knock on wood if you're with me. There you go. So here's a hypothetical. If you're the Redskins, do you shop Case Keenum to Jacksonville and let Haskins be your guy?
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
and Case Keenum, perfect replacement for Nick Foles. Perfect.
He actually looked good today.
He did look good today.
I must say.
He had it going a little bit, and he covered. Who covers? Case Keenum covers.
Winners.
That's why I love this guy. I love this guy.
Yeah, Case Keenum covers when he's getting 10 points, not when he's like.
I wonder how many people were mocking us last week when we said Case Keenum over Eli Manning and Joe Flacco. I mean, definitely Eli Manning. He looks like a disaster. Get Daniel Jones in there immediately. And wait, I stand by my comment on Joe Flacco. I'll wait to see. Whatever he shows tomorrow means nothing to me, though. The Raiders are absolute trash, and they better win that game.
I can't wait to see the ratings on that game. Nobody is going to watch that football game. No one.
No, people will
not on the
get
East
themselves
Coast.
out of their week 1 holes, although the public probably, crushed it today with a lot of these games at Spike. So,
I was going to say, a lot of
Ravens,
favorites winning. Yep.
Although they probably gave it back on the Seahawks.
Chiefs, Ravens, would have been Eagles. Redskins scored. I was watching Red Zone. Redskins scored that touchdown with like 4 seconds left. And you could hear, so sports betting is legal in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, obviously. You could hear like the people in the crowd because they
Just the
had
brutal
obviously
beats.
bet the Eagles.
So funny.
No.
Yeah.
What are you
I
doing?
love that stuff. I think that's so funny.
I do too.
But Redskins were blowing the doors off them. They were up 20-0, and then
Gave it all back because Carson Wentz MVP was doing his thing.
what else? Vikings look good. Falcons got a couple cheapies at the end. I don't put
That defense looked
dominant.
freaking great. They looked great.
When it
And
counted, it was lights out.
that's the sweet spot for Kirk Cousins. 1 o'clock at home.
Only threw the ball
Love
10
it.
times. But if you count it really should be 11 in my mind. 2 of them were frickin' strip sacks. One of them ended up he was coming forward, but then the second one he got strip sacked. I'm like, for the love of God, dude! Like this happened at least twice a game last year. Can this please not happen again?
Squeeze it.
Yeah,
Squeeze it.
Just have something. Install a camera in the back of your head. I don't care. Don't care.
Yeah, and the Bucks stink.
Terrible.
I mean stink.
Chris Godwin got his touchdown, but the Bruce Arians is not solving the riddle that is Jameis Winston. I mean, you don't get a more perfect scenario for them. You're at home against a West Coast team who has a really bad defense, and you still can't put up anything. So, another
Jimmy
team
G
that
didn't look that good either, though. At least early. He kind of figured it out later, but
he's a little gun shy. It's tough. It's
I don't
tough.
think Jimmy G's that good. I don't think he's shown anything. I know that's going to hurt Scott's feelings, but what has he done of any consequence in the NFL?
well, he resurrected Vernon Hargrave's career today by giving him a pick 6.
Yeah. Besides holding TB12's jockstrap, Jimmy Garoppolo has done nothing of any value.
He had 6 really good quarters. You forget that. He beat the Cardinals in Arizona. I remember I was on a flight to San Diego watching it from Boston, so the people were going nuts. And then he played a half against the Dolphins at home, crushed them. He got paid. Good for him.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Look at his QBR.
exactly.
Jameis Winston, 20 of 36, 194, 1 touchdown, 3 picks, 3 sacks, QBR of 8.6.
Nice.
So bad.
Oh, dude.
So
Oh,
bad.
man. This is the NFL, Jameis.
I know.
And he's out here
Dude,
trying to
he's
eat
got-
W's still.
I don't. Now, does he get signed next year? Like, is someone going to have him as a backup?
Definitely.
Oh,
Definitely.
I feel bad.
I mean, look at these people he's got to throw to. Godwin, OJ Howard, Mike Evans, Cameron Brate. Like, you got players.
There was so many called back touchdowns in that game. Cameron Brate had 2 within like
Yes.
5 minutes, and
Same guy.
George Kittle had 2 called back.
It was the guy scored, and then it was a holding on.
Yep.
It was literally the exact same thing twice.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Same guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal. Hopefully he's buying his meal.
How about me eating my words on the Rams that they're going to start slow? They just cooked the Panthers today. They look good.
I thought it was only a 3-point final.
No, if you watch the sequence, it was never in doubt.
Yeah. It was not in doubt.
Yes,
all.
it was 3 points, but Carolina never had control or even really threatened to win in my eyes.
On the flip side, Christian McCaffrey looked pretty good. And hold on, I'm going to check really quick, but I'm pretty sure I'm in first place in the Best Ball League, the Pigskin Junkies inaugural Best Ball League. Feeling pretty good about that. Yep.
Did I
Zigu is.
Did I take T.J. Hawkinson in that league?
Yes, you did because
You were busting my chops about it.
Everyone. You know what? I should keep my big mouth shut because the guy in my office in the office league took Hawkinson way too early when I was waiting to take him. So I've been.
So you were
banging the
butthurt.
Hawkinson-
That's why.
I've been banging the Hawkinson drum way too much. He looks so freaking good. He's going to be a stud. But Matt Patricia blowing this game today. This is tailor made for him to get fired by the end of the season. If he decisions like that, you can't lose games like this. Tie felt like a loss for the Lions. You cannot blow that type of game.
And
that's going to get him fired.
Did anyone else fall asleep watching the game Thursday night? I can't tell
I watched
if
the whole thing.
No, I watched the whole thing.
I passed out in the fourth quarter. I can't tell if Trubisky's bad or the Packers defense is good.
No, Trubisky stinks.
Ooh, Scott's on the
don't-
fence.
I'm on the fence, but I'm very
Scott,
curious.
that was
to see
Scott's
next
boy
week.
last year.
He was my boy last year. He put up great fantasy numbers. So, but him going to Denver to face his old defensive coordinator, who you have to assume has dissected him from all the practices together. So, that's going to be interesting.
Vic Fangio with
Yep.
extra rest, though. I mean, yeah, it's tough.
It'll be
And
interesting.
they're on short rest.
Yeah. Oh,
So we'll go, Scott.
interesting
We'll
scheduling angle there.
we'll throw you on the old gun to your head segment. So I know you got the Saints at -6.5. We've already discussed no one's going to be awake on the East Coast to watch Raiders Broncos.
I'm on Broncos though. I
Minus
have
2.5?
them in a circa. Yeah, I have them in the circa contest at -2.5 in one of my entries. So, I'm on the Broncos. Just short John Gruden continuously.
Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't,
Hey, it's gun to your head, man. You got to
dude.
like.
So, all right. So, yeah. Speaking of which, one quick segue into NCAA. I was waiting for the Coach O interview at halftime last night, and it didn't happen. I was pissed.
Go Tigers.
I don't know if I was watching the wrong stream, and then he didn't say "Go Tigers" at the end of the end of the game interview after they won.
I just need.
What the hell?
I needed footage or a recording of McConaughey and Orgeron talking to each other. Yeah.
Cookie Monster.
And the whole time he's just playing with his fingers.
Yeah, I think so. First of all, I will not be putting one red cent on the late game tomorrow night because it is distraction town USA, and I want no part of Joe Flacco. Like this, people think that Bears Packers game was bad on Thursday. Watch this crap tomorrow night. It's gonna be like 6-2. Something.
No, you know what? I think that the Raiders are good for a couple turnovers and like a Von Miller, strip sack, take it to the house is in store, and that'll be interesting to watch. But no, I will not watch a second of this game. Like I said on the last podcast, I'll wake up at 3 a.m., check my phone, and see who won, check the box score, do the fancy stats in my head, go back to bed. Boom.
I'll go Broncos in solidarity with Scott.
Thank you.
So we'll just go with the Holy Trinity then.
0.1, 49.9.
Oh no, we're all on the Broncos, and are we all on the Saints, Micah?
I don't know. I don't trust the Saints early. I don't know why, but what's the line again? 6.5?
7 in the Super Contest. It's down to 6.5 in live markets.
I'm gonna go no play. I'm gonna play the producer role on this one and just say whatever you guys think is great.
All right, good.
Or-
Saints.
I don't want to jinx it. I'm not gonna jump the three of us. I'm
Who
both of them.
Who dat?
So that's our recap format. Going to be kind of a little more relaxed, a little more fun, going through it all. So Jared going to be the one that has to do the most talking. So I'm sorry that you all have to hear that more than Scott and myself, because it's obvious who the real right people are when it comes to making picks.
You want the goods.
So for myself, Michael Larson, the big brother, Jared Larson, and Scott Panza, thanks so much for tuning in. We're out of here, junkies.
Peace.
See ya.